Speaking test instructions. The speaking test is 20 minutes. There are 8 tasks in the speaking test. Please try your best to answer all the questions.
Start speaking now. Time is up. 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 Start speaking now. Time is up.
David, I think it's wonderful that you've been accepted into such a prestigious graduate program. This clearly reflects your academic abilities and potential. Nevertheless, your concerns about debt and career prospects are completely valid and deserve careful consideration before making this significant decision. First and foremost, research the specific career outcomes for graduates of this program. Look at employment rates, average starting salaries, and career advancement patterns for recent alumni. Furthermore, consider whether the degree is truly necessary for your desired career path or if there are alternative routes that might be more cost-effective. Additionally, explore all possible funding options including scholarships, assistantships, grants, and employer sponsorship if you're currently working. Many graduate programs offer teaching or research assistantships that significantly reduce costs, while providing valuable experience. Moreover, consider the opportunity cost of the time you'll spend in school versus working and earning income. However, also factor in the long-term earning potential and career doors that the degree might open. Consequently, create a detailed financial projection comparing your expected debt load with potential salary increases and career advancement opportunities. I'd also recommend connecting with current students and recent graduates to get realistic perspectives on both the academic experience and job market outcomes. Despite the financial concerns, sometimes strategic educational investments pay substantial dividends throughout your career. The key is ensuring this particular program aligns with your specific goals and that you've thoroughly researched alternatives. Additionally, consider whether you could pursue the degree part-time while working to reduce debt accumulation. Ultimately, this decision should balance your financial realities with your long-term career aspirations and the unique opportunities this program provides. Last year, I was assigned to work on a major project with a colleague named Robert who had a completely different approach to work than I do. I tend to be very organized, prefer detailed planning, and like to start projects early with clear timelines. Robert, however, was much more spontaneous, preferred to brainstorm ideas freely without rigid structure, and often worked best under pressure close to deadlines. Initially, this created significant tension because our different styles seemed incompatible. Furthermore, I was frustrated when Robert wanted to completely change our approach just days before important milestones, while he felt constrained by what he perceived as my inflexibility. Additionally, our communication styles clashed. I preferred detailed written plans and regular check-in meetings, while Robert liked informal discussions and was comfortable with ambiguous next steps. To address these challenges, I suggested we have an honest conversation about our working preferences and find ways to leverage our different strengths rather than fighting against them. Moreover, we agreed to divide responsibilities based on our natural tendencies. I took charge of project organization, timeline management, and client communications, while Robert led the creative brainstorming sessions and innovative problem-solving aspects. Consequently, we established a compromise on deadlines where we'd complete major components a few days earlier than Robert preferred but later than my ideal timeline. We also implemented a hybrid communication approach using both structured meetings and informal check-ins. The outcome exceeded both of our expectations. Our project received excellent feedback from clients and management, who specifically praised both the creative innovation and professional execution. Additionally, I learned valuable lessons about the benefits of creative flexibility, while Robert appreciated how good organization could actually enhance rather than limit creativity. This experience taught me that different working styles can be complementary rather than conflicting when approached with mutual respect and strategic planning. This illustration depicts a community environmental cleanup initiative taking place in a public park setting. In the foreground, several volunteers are actively engaged in waste collection and recycling activities, demonstrating collaborative environmental stewardship. Two men and a young boy are working together to fill a large black garbage bag, while another volunteer kneels beside blue recycling bins marked with the distinctive recycling symbol. Meanwhile, in the background, additional participants can be seen using rakes to gather debris from the grassy areas, systematically clearing the park of accumulated litter. The scene also features proper waste management infrastructure, including both regular waste containers labeled yard and specialized recycling bins, which emphasizes the organized nature of this cleanup effort. What makes this scene particularly noteworthy is the intergenerational participation, as both adults and children are working side by side, suggesting that environmental education and community responsibility are being passed down to younger generations. Furthermore, the park setting, complete with mature trees, walking paths, and urban buildings visible in the distance, illustrates how urban green spaces require ongoing maintenance and community involvement. The overall atmosphere conveys a sense of civic pride and environmental consciousness, where residents have voluntarily gathered to preserve and enhance their shared public spaces, creating a cleaner, more sustainable environment for everyone to enjoy while fostering community bonds through collective action. Initially, the volunteers will continue collecting scattered litter throughout the park pathways, whereas the child helping his father will learn valuable lessons about environmental responsibility and community service. Subsequently, the woman organizing recyclable materials will sort items into appropriate containers, while simultaneously, others will rake fallen leaves and debris from the grass areas. Meanwhile, the person tending to the garden bed will likely plant new flowers or remove weeds, and consequently, the park's overall appearance will significantly improve. Furthermore, as more trash bags are filled, volunteers will transport them to designated collection points where municipal workers can easily retrieve them. Despite the substantial amount of work required, the collaborative spirit among participants will undoubtedly motivate everyone to continue their efforts. Nevertheless, some volunteers might take short breaks to hydrate and socialize. In addition, passers-by observing this community initiative will presumably be inspired to either join the cleanup or organize similar events in their neighborhoods. In conclusion, this exemplary demonstration of civic engagement will not only beautify the local environment but also strengthen community bonds, thereby creating lasting positive impact that extends far beyond this single cleanup day. Tyler, I understand the appeal of a guided tour for our vacation, but I truly believe a backpacking adventure would provide us with a much more meaningful and memorable experience. First and foremost, backpacking offers complete flexibility to follow our interests and discoveries rather than being constrained by predetermined schedules. Unlike guided tours that rush you through popular attractions, we could spend extra time in places that truly captivate us and skip locations that don't resonate with our interests. Furthermore, the authentic cultural interactions we'll have while backpacking are simply impossible on guided tours where you're insulated within tourist bubbles. Additionally, staying in hostels, local guesthouses, and using public transportation connects us directly with local people and customs rather than experiencing destinations through the filtered lens of tourism industry professionals. Moreover, the budget-friendly nature of backpacking means we could extend our trip, visit more destinations, or save money for future adventures rather than spending premium prices for packaged experiences. Although guided tours provide educational information, the personal discoveries and problem solving we'll do while navigating independently create much more lasting memories and personal growth. Consequently, we'll return home with genuine stories of adventure, unexpected encounters, and the confidence that comes from successfully managing travel challenges together. Despite the physical demands and basic accommodations, these aspects actually enhance the adventure and help us appreciate simple pleasures. The guided tour option, while informative and convenient, would leave us with the same experiences as thousands of other tourists rather than creating our own unique journey. Don't you think we're capable of creating a more personalized and adventurous experience than following someone else's predetermined path? Tyler, while I appreciate your adventurous spirit regarding the guided tour, I believe an all-inclusive resort would provide us with the perfect opportunity for genuine relaxation and stress-free bonding that we both desperately need right now. First and foremost, we've both been under tremendous work pressure lately, and this vacation should be about complete relaxation rather than adding the stress of planning, navigation, and constant decision-making that guided tours require. Furthermore, at an all-inclusive resort, we can focus entirely on enjoying each other's company without worrying about budgets, meal planning, or accommodation standards. Additionally, the luxury amenities like spa services, multiple dining options, and recreational activities provide variety without requiring us to research and coordinate everything ourselves. Moreover, the predictable costs mean we won't face unexpected expenses or budget stress that could create tension during our vacation. Although guided tours offer educational experiences, they often feel rushed and exhausting, moving from location to location without adequate time to truly relax and absorb the experience. Despite the limited local cultural interaction at resorts, we can still choose optional excursions if we want cultural experiences, but they'll be well organized and stress-free rather than requiring us to navigate foreign transportation and language barriers. Consequently, we'll return home feeling genuinely refreshed and recharged rather than needing another vacation to recover from our vacation. The resort environment also provides opportunities for activities we both enjoy, like swimming, beach volleyball, and evening entertainment, creating shared positive experiences. Consider that we can explore different cultures on future trips when we have more time and energy. But right now we both need pure relaxation and quality time together without external stressors. Dad, I wanted to talk with you about something that's been concerning our whole family lately. First and foremost, I want you to know how much I respect your independence and understand how important driving has been to your sense of freedom and autonomy. Nevertheless, we're all worried about your recent vision changes and the minor accident you had last month. Furthermore, these concerns come from a place of love. We're not trying to control your life, but we want to ensure your safety and the safety of other drivers and pedestrians. Additionally, I've been researching some excellent alternative transportation options that might actually provide more convenience than driving, especially given the stress of traffic and parking that you've mentioned lately. For instance, many ride-sharing services now offer special programs for seniors, and our city has improved public transportation with comfortable buses that have senior discounts. Moreover, I'd be happy to help coordinate a driving service or even set up a schedule where family members could provide transportation for important appointments and errands. Consequently, you could maintain your independence while reducing the stress and responsibility of driving in increasingly challenging traffic conditions. I understand this feels like giving up something important, but consider how much more relaxed you could be as a passenger. enjoying the scenery instead of focusing on driving challenges. Additionally, many of your friends have made similar transitions and found they actually prefer not dealing with car maintenance, insurance, and parking hassles. Would you be willing to try some of these alternatives for a few weeks to see how they work? We could start gradually while keeping your license active initially. Mom, I know this is an incredibly difficult situation for you, and I understand your concern about upsetting Dad. Nevertheless, I believe you need to take a firm stance regarding his driving because the safety risks have become too significant to ignore any longer. First and foremost, Dad's recent vision problems and the minor accident are clear warning signs that his driving abilities are compromised. Furthermore, if something more serious happens, injuring Dad, other drivers, or pedestrians, we'll all regret not taking action when we recognize the danger signs. Additionally, as his spouse and closest companion, you have both the moral authority and responsibility to address this situation directly rather than hoping it will resolve itself. Moreover, protecting Dad from potential catastrophic consequences is actually the most loving thing you can do. Even if it causes temporary upset or resentment, consider the legal and financial implications if Dad causes a serious accident. Insurance might not cover damages if they determine he was unfit to drive, leaving your family financially vulnerable. Consequently, taking action now protects not just physical safety but also your family's financial security and Dad's legacy. I understand you're worried about his reaction and potential depression, but we can address those concerns with increased family support, alternative transportation arrangements, and possibly professional counseling if needed. Despite Dad's likely initial resistance, many families who've navigated this transition report that their elderly relatives eventually appreciated the reduced stress and responsibility once they adjusted to new routines. The key is presenting this as a family decision motivated by love rather than a punishment or loss of trust. We need to act decisively while also providing emotional support and practical alternatives. Will you join me in having this conversation with Dad this week? I believe artificial intelligence will have a predominantly positive impact on society over the next 20 years, though this outcome depends heavily on how thoughtfully we implement and regulate these technologies. First and foremost, AI has tremendous potential to solve some of humanity's most pressing challenges, including climate change, disease, and resource distribution. Machine learning algorithms are already accelerating medical research, enabling more accurate diagnoses, and personalizing treatments in ways that could dramatically improve health outcomes and life expectancy. Furthermore, AI applications in environmental monitoring and resource optimization could significantly reduce waste and improve sustainability across industries. Additionally, automation of routine and dangerous tasks could free humans to focus on more creative, interpersonal, and strategic work while reducing workplace injuries and repetitive strain. Moreover, AI-powered educational tools could provide personalized learning experiences that adapt to individual student needs, potentially democratizing access to high-quality education globally. Nevertheless, I acknowledge the significant challenges and risks that accompany these benefits. Job displacement concerns are legitimate, particularly for roles involving routine cognitive or manual tasks. Additionally, questions about algorithmic bias, privacy, and concentration of power among technology companies require serious attention and regulatory responses. However, history suggests that technological advances typically create new categories of employment while eliminating others, and the transition period, while challenging, ultimately leads to economic growth and improved living standards. Consequently, The key to realizing AI's positive potential lies in proactive policy development, retraining programs for displaced workers, and ensuring that AI development prioritizes human welfare over pure efficiency or profit maximization. Therefore, while the next 2 decades will undoubtedly involve significant social and economic adjustments, I believe thoughtful implementation of AI technologies will ultimately enhance human capabilities and quality of life rather than replacing human value and creativity. Lisa, you absolutely have to drop everything and come to the Marine Discovery Aquarium this weekend. I'm standing in front of the most incredible sea creature I've ever witnessed in my entire life. And I'm literally speechless. Picture this. It's like nature decided to combine a shark with an octopus, creating something that looks straight out of a science fiction movie. The creature has the distinctive head and razor-sharp teeth of a great white shark. But instead of a typical shark body, it has these massive, undulating tentacles extending from its lower half, just like a giant octopus. What makes this even more extraordinary is how gracefully it moves through the water, using both its shark-like swimming motions and the fluid movements of its tentacles simultaneously. Furthermore, there's this gorgeous translucent jellyfish with pink and purple hues floating nearby, which creates this absolutely mesmerizing underwater scene. Although I desperately wanted to capture this on camera, photography is strictly forbidden in this special exhibit, which makes seeing it in person even more essential. Not only is this creature unlike anything I've ever seen in documentaries or marine biology books, but the way it interacts with its environment is absolutely fascinating. Given your passion for marine life and how much you enjoyed our last aquarium visit together, I guarantee this will blow your mind completely. The exhibit is only here for another 2 weeks, so please promise me you'll make time to experience this incredible discovery yourself.